Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, doing another episode on the Sweetheart Roadster. Been a little while, at least it feels like a little while since we've done an episode on this. In the meantime, I've been really working on the frame to try and fix all that horrible damage. If you guys didn't watch it, check back a few episodes. We have one where we did on the frame, we cut it apart, and it has a lot of bad repairs. So I've been picking away at that. We haven't really been filming much on this particular car, but a handful of weeks ago, Gene Winfield was in town. He and I did a little metal fab class, and he and I went and visited Posey's Rod Shop, Posey's Rod and Custom. And you guys are into this stuff, you know Posey's Super Slide springs. They make that practically everybody buys those springs. They're really good. Anyways, Posey invited us over to his shop, Gene and myself, to visit and check out the shop and see what they got going on. While we were in there, like any good classic car guy does, Gene and I were both kind of digging around looking for stuff. Is that for sale? Is that for sale? Is that for sale? And I went and saw this under a piece of plastic on one of the lifts, asked about it. Oh yeah, we pulled that from a car and bought it out. I'll sell it. Posey gave me a great deal on it, and I had to have it. I already had in my brain with this car that I kind of wanted to do a 44 dash. There is a private collection / museum right here in my town, actually, Three Dog Garage. They have a nice little section in the back that's all historic hot rods and customs, and there's some pretty famous old hot rods and customs that are in there. One of those is the Ricky Nelson Roadster that I just freaking love. It's one of my favorite cars in there. It's done in a really cool 50s show car, just something really awesome, and just a lot of cool touches on it. And one of the things that I liked in it is that car probably has the best, or one of the best executions of a 40 dash in a early 30s Ford. A lot of guys put the dash, these 40 dashes, they shove them underneath of the dash rail on a Model A, and I think it looks funny. And I wouldn't say it looks funny, but you can just kind of tell if you know these that they just trimmed it and slid it underneath, and it looks good, but it was always a little off to me. When I saw the Ricky Nelson Roadster, I was like, holy crap, that is the way. It looked awesome. So what they did is, when they built that car, they put it up on top of the dash rail and probably cut the old one away, or at least set it up on top. And then they built pieces when they shortened the sides to actually flow into the doors and looks really nice. A couple little things that I would change on it, but overall the concept is really cool on it. So I'm going to kind of follow that lead and use that as an inspiration. I got a nice photo of the interior from the museum that I found that somebody took in the museum, and I'm going to use that for inspiration. So we're going to show the process for fitting a 44 dash in a Model A Roadster, specifically a 3031, and how I'm going to accomplish it. You guys can do it however you want, but I was looking around online, and there's a handful of photos, but there's not many people who have shown how to do it, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of document the process. So I got this clamped in here. We're going to start tracing on this and start doing the initial trimming and see what it's going to take to get this to fit. So the first thing about this dash, we got a different angle, is width-wise in a Model A, it's really darn close. It has a little area in the end where it flares out, but this thing, as you can see, it actually kind of fits in. It's just interfering with the doors, but it doesn't need a lot trimmed off. A lot of guys talk about cutting the dash in between the glove box and the speaker grill, shortening it in the center of the glove box. I've seen all kinds of different stuff, but really, I don't think it needs much. I think we can actually trim it right against the edge of the trim here to get this to slide in there, and it should be fine. The biggest problem is this little kind of uphill section where it's going into the body to match up in the 40. We're going to have to get rid of that because that doesn't really flow with it. But I think we should be able to just trim those edges down and it'll slide right in there. The next thing is we're going to I'm going to try and get a mark along the top of this with some cardboard to mark the shape of the original car and then the shape of this to try and get the two of them to kind of flow. But mainly we got to start cutting this top back so it just kind of sits in there. So we'll start doing that. Okay, after a little bit of work, we got the dash fitting somewhat decent, and a lot better than it was to start with. And this is a lot more fun of work than what we've been doing on the car, doing a lot of very tedious rust repair work in the substructure. So to recap, we took some like butcher paper and laid it over top of the header panel, windshield header panel of the Macau, the Model A, and we traced the underside to give us basically the shape or the contour radius of the of this header panel, so that when I cut it in, we kind of knew what it was. So we transferred that to the dash. I rough cut it with the electric shears. That got us pretty close. There's a couple little spots here, but we're going to sand and trim and get this fitting perfect a little later on. Then what we had to do is just keep working on the side to side, trim, just to take away the corners of the dash. The dash kind of actually flared back out originally at the bottom, so we had to get rid of all of that and keep trimming. Now at this point, we're basically, the dash flows right inside. The curve is still here. We're still maintaining this curve and the trim, and it flows inside. And it actually looks pretty cool because Mike noticed it. The trim kind of flows and disappears into the door gap, which is pretty cool. So it all kind of looks like it's supposed to be there. And then we just added some Clecos so that it holds itself in place. The next big thing is I just got to trim a little bit on the side of the actual header panel itself here because it's interfering. And then we just need to address this top area here on the dash. It kind of is flowing up. On the original, on 40 it flowed up, where on the Model A it's flowing down. So I'm going to probably end up cutting away pretty much this whole top section here and recreating it, because I'm going to actually need to recreate that and create this curve that we want to flow into the dash. So I'm going to need to kind of cut all of this mess away and just create new and kind of reshape it. So I'm pretty happy with where we got for tonight with just a little bit of work. The dash is kind of looking like something fitting in the car, which is pretty exciting. So next time we're going to work on fitting these pieces, maybe even getting the dash to bolt in, make some brackets so it bolts in, but most important to get these corners fitting so that it flows in place. So that's all I got for tonight. Thanks guys for following along. Usually every Friday we try and launch a video on the Sweetheart Roadster if we can, if we're moving along good. Also Tuesdays we've been putting out other videos about other stuff that's going in my shop, or stuff that you guys have asked about, like some sign videos and shop tour and some stuff like that. So thank you guys for those requests. We'll do any other ones that we can that you guys might mention. So that's it. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys later. Thanks.